Imran, first of all, we've seen Pakistan almost amongst the also-rans in world cricket now. They've slipped in the rankings in various formats. What can be done to make them a major force in world cricket again?
Well, to make Pakistan cricket an institution, that's what needs to be done. It's done on ad hoc basis. And the reason why it's ad hoc is because the chairman of the cricket board is appointed by the president of Pakistan. His only qualification is that the president likes him. And he then no longer is accountable to anyone. As long as the team keeps winning, he can then claim that he's succeeding, and if the team loses, he then changes the captain, which is what you had some frequent captaincy changes. So this is where the problem starts, and what Pakistan needs is to be, it needs to have regional teams, few teams, 6 or 8 maximum regional teams, and then it needs elected regional cricket boards, who then elect the chairman, who's accountable to the council, and they have a professional chief executive, which is basically what happens in England and Australia and other countries. Rather than this ridiculous system where they have departments or sponsors, PIA, railways, and so on, who have representation on the cricket board, who are not elected, which is appointees of these sponsors, and so the whole system is distorted, and that's why we just cannot. We are so inconsistent. We cannot polish our talent. That's why we cannot produce consistently good teams, despite the enormous talent in Pakistan.
Imran, there's regular issues between the Pakistan Cricket Board and its players. Almost frequently there's one player is banned or not available for some reason or another, or there's some issue between the board and the player. Why is that so frequent in Pakistan cricket, and what can be done to stop this happening?
Well, it's because Pakistan cricket is run on ad hoc basis. So the chairman of the cricket board basically becomes all in all a dictator, can do what he wants, because he's not come through any process. He's just been appointed by the president. And so therefore, you have all sorts of problems when you have a flawed decision making, because there's no institutionalized decision making. One man can make all decisions in the board, depending on who he consults. He can make a mess of it, and usually cricket boards have been dysfunctional.
We've seen Waqar Younis recently step down from the role as Pakistan coach for health reasons. In your opinion, Imran, what do you think should the coach be Pakistani, or should there be an overseas foreign coach who takes over the reins from Waqar?
I think too much time and effort is spent and wasted on who the coach should be. Coaches basically have very limited ability to help a team. I don't understand this obsession with coaches, because basically, Australia was not the best team because of the coach. It was the best team because it was a great team. It had a good domestic cricket structure, which kept throwing up good players, and it had a quality captain. Now, our captains. So, if coach was such a big thing, Zimbabwe or Bangladesh or one of these weaker teams could just have a coach and he could transform a team. It cannot work like that. Yes, captain can play a role, but not a coach. So I always find this, people do not understand that cricket is perhaps the only game that needs leadership. And that needs a captain who needs to be a leader. No other sport the captain has a role as in cricket. And they keep confusing cricket with soccer and other games. And then you have coaches trying to justify their salaries by, having computers and all sorts of stuff, trying to, look useful. Yeah. But, which coach has really made that much difference? As far as I'm concerned, yes, a coach who's very bright, who understands the game, who understands strategy, it can help the captain.
Yeah.
But more than that, if the captain is useless, whatever the coach does, he can't do anything, because he can't go and play the game.
So basically what you're saying there is that it doesn't really matter as far as Pakistan cricket is concerned, and yourself, who or where the coach comes from.
Captain is what matters,
Yeah.
not the coach.
Imran, was seeing the BCCI play a major role in world cricket. Some people are saying that it's actually dominating the ICC. Do you think this is a worrying trend and something that cricket needs to be wary of? You know, the powers that the BCCI seem to be having at the moment?
Well, I certainly didn't understand this wonderful system of referral, which I think is a very positive step forward, and yet BCCI vetoed it. That I felt was wrong. I don't know what else they're doing. But for instance, that they're using the cloud, they just suddenly decide. Whereas every cricketer or every sort of the majority of cricketers all felt that this was a great innovation. And this is one board decides to veto it. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that I believe in democracy. I don't think that any one board should have so much clout. In the old days, England and Australia had all the clout.
Yeah. Imran, we've seen recent recommendations by the ICC subcommittee that were asked to look into Pakistan cricket. They made a whole list of recommendations, 60, 70 recommendations. I don't know if you had a chance to look at some of those recommendations. Do you think those recommendations were feasible, or was it just a lot of hot air?
I don't know what recommendations they made.
Right.
But all I know is that Pakistan cricket should be, it should be democratic. It should have elected associations. It should have no place for sponsors. No sponsor should be able to feel his team. And Pakistan is like that. Nowhere else it happens.
Last couple of questions, Imran, and once again, we really appreciate your time, is to do with the fast bowling talent. We've seen Mohammad Amir and Mohammad Asif unfortunately fall by the wayside. We've seen the Shoaib Akhtar unfortunately not fulfill his potential. Do you think Pakistan cricket can become a world force with producing these talented cricketers in future?
Pakistan probably has more talent than any other country in the world. Consistently, it produces the most talented cricketers. Pakistan's problem is not lack of talent. Pakistan's problem is not having a cricket system that polishes this talent. That's a problem.
Imran, final question is that will we ever see you involved in Pakistan cricket in future?
No.
Imran, I really appreciate your time. Many, many thanks for that.